In this video, I'm building a box castle for my snakes, but I didn't have the boxes to do it. So I reached out to a company that I've bought a ton of products from before, but I just always threw away the boxes. Switchbot has really cool boxes, all different shapes and sizes, and they were willing to send me the cardboard. What's a little bit annoying though is the boxes came and they weren't emptied first, so I had to do all the labor of emptying the boxes out. But on the bright side, they sent me a ton of really cool technology. That's what we're talking about today, technology. Welcome to the Green Room. I'm Bob Bledsoe. This is Echo, my superdwarf reticulated python. Today, not only are we building a box castle for the snakes, but we're going to talk about how I'm able to leave town for extended periods of time and still be in total control of what's happening in the snake room and know what's going on with all my snakes. Thanks to Switchbot, by the way, for sponsoring today's video. I did a video like this about a year or so ago where I talked about this type of technology, but today we're going to go more in depth, and I've got some new stuff too that I'm going to show you. All the while building a box tower for the snakes. Behind the camera is my brother Kent. You know what the title of this video should be? Worst Jack-in-the-Box ever. I built a deadly Jack-in-the-Box. Watch out, kids, when you find my Jack-in-the-Box of doom. Might be a bit long. It's catchy though. I'll consider it. Yes! I'm out of town quite often, especially in the summertime, and I need to be able to maintain the ambient temperatures and humidity in the snake room. So I have an air conditioning that kicks on and off, heater in the wintertime. I've got a fan that kicks on and off based on the humidity levels, a humidifier. All that runs remotely and automatically, but I can also control it from my phone if I want. I have a wall air conditioning unit in the green room, which is crucial to keeping animals alive during the heat of the Southern California summer. And it's controlled with this remote control that it came with. But it's also controlled with this thing. This little white thing is a Switchbot mini hub. And I can program this to mimic all kinds of different remote controls. And it can also run any other Switchbot products that are in the house. So basically this Switchbot hub mimics this remote control now, and this can be run automatically. So based on preset temperatures, it can kick on and off my air conditioning. I can also run it myself from anywhere in the world from my phone. This is a thermometer hygrometer that just measures the temp and humidity in the room. I also have these in the individual snake enclosures, but this one's for the room. And it's connected also to the Switchbot hub. So that's the unit that tells the hub when it's warm enough in here to kick on the AC or cool enough to kick off the AC. I also have a portable space heater that I run in the wintertime. That's really important, especially at night. And I can kick that on and off using a Switchbot, the actual thing that the company is named after. A Switchbot is a little robot that's just a little switch. And it's designed for a rocker switch, like a light switch, but it works really well on the button on my space heater. And I can run that through the hub also. If it gets too cold in here, the hub will know and just kick it on. Or kick it off when it gets warm enough. And then I can also run that from my phone. I just hit a little button on my phone and it turns the space heater on. So I might be out of town in the wintertime and I look on my phone and I see that it's a little bit too cool in the green room. I can just manually, even though I know that the hub will probably turn on the heater anyway eventually, I can just manually do it and know that it's on and that the room's taken care of. By the way, there's an affiliate link in the description below to Switchbot, as well as a 10% off code. But if you use that affiliate link, it will automatically give you the code at checkout. Hey, you're doing good, just cruising around. You guys, Echo just peed so much. Did she get my back? Is it on my back? You can't even tell. Oh, it is. It's on my back. Why would you do something like that? I was just standing there and I heard this trickling and I was like, why is there water running behind me? What's going on? And then I realized, oh, there is a snake butt back there. So that's what's happening. It required a mop. This is a mop. I used a mop to clean that up. That wasn't just a paper towel job. I full on mop with cleaner. Reticulated python. It doesn't smell good. Jeez. Okay, I put Echo back in her enclosure just in case there was more to come from that. And we have Ron here, who is the father of a number of babies that have hatched out here this year. I control the humidity in this room with a fan. It's usually more humid in here than it needs to be through most of the year. And I have a bathroom fan that I can turn on that's designed for like shower steam. If it gets too humid in here, the Switchbot hub knows to click on the Switchbot that is attached to the rocker switch that controls the fan, and it'll turn that on and off. So that handles things through most of the year, but when it's too dry in here, I set up the humidifier, and that is a Switchbot product, so I can just connect the humidifier with the hub and get that going, turning on and off at different times based on what my thermometer hygrometer is telling the hub to do. So they're all connected, and it's also easy to connect. I'm not going to go through a tutorial, but it's very simple. You just download an app. By the way, there are a number of products. I just happen to use Switchbot since long before they sponsored a video, but there are a number of products that do this type of thing. I think that Switchbot has the best situation just because of this hub. It just allows you to run everything, every Switchbot product, as well as other things that are not Switchbot products, just your normal switches and your air conditioning unit and all that kind of stuff through that hub. And also, if I want to be a control freak, I can just look at what's happening in the room and control everything from my phone from anywhere in the world. I'm about to show you the cameras that I use. But first, let's see what's happening in Kent's Corner.
Hi, I'm Kent, and welcome to Kent's Corner, the thing that we just got to, and also your favorite show. I don't know why Bob is building a castle for the snakes. Are we trying to give them the idea that they're in charge? Are we also gonna make them little crowns and tiaras and give them an official inauguration and go, oh, you're in charge now, but you're royalty. That means that you can murder anybody you want without any consequences, so feel free to go on a rampage. Is that the kind of message we're trying to send to them in there?
No. Oh, it's just a thing to crawl on, Kent.
Can I do Kent's Corner over then?
No, you can't.
Dang it.
So that castle you're watching me build took a little bit of time, but it's pretty easy to do if you have a bunch of boxes, a razor blade, some scissors, and glue. I think hot glue works the best because it's non-toxic when it dries. It's going to be top heavy, so you have to weight it down with something. I use a brick, but you know, anything that's heavy you can put in that bottom, your biggest box. These folks are the Horde of Keepers. They are supporting the channel over on Patreon and getting a bunch of cool stuff along with it. And they get their name on a board. They get t-shirts and sticker packs and stuff like that. And you know, if you don't want to join the Patreon page, but you're jealous that they're getting merch, there is the new merch store that just opened up. If you look right below this video, you should see a merch, I think they call it a merch tray. But it's got all kinds of Green Room Python stuff that you can buy if you want. Special thanks to the channel sponsor, Black Box Cages, and our video sponsor for this video is Switchbot. Let's look at these cameras real quick. So this is an indoor camera that I use. There's a bunch of these. You can find them all over Amazon. There's a bunch of different brands. This one happens to be Switchbot, but this is what I use. If you see any inside the enclosure footage, I'm using this camera. I also use it, you know, set it out in the green room to look at things. But for that, I also use their outdoor I don't know if, I think this is called an indoor-outdoor camera, but it works in both situations. So both of these have night vision, which is really cool, and motion detection. And it'll tell me, like if I'm out of town and one of these cameras detects motion in the room, it'll alert me, which is pretty cool on my phone. This one swivels up and down and sideways and stuff like that. I can control that from my phone, and I can also, so this sets up when I leave town, this thing sets up to watch the green room. When Lucy comes in to take care of my snakes, if I'm gone for more than a week, I have her come in and change waters. I try to be looking at this camera while she's here because I can talk to her through the camera. I can also call her on the phone, obviously, but if I'm just watching her from my phone on this camera, I might as well just talk to her through the cam. So that's how I check on snakes. I can have her tell me what's going on as she's going through all the tubs and such. It works great. Having a camera on your snakes, even if it's tubs, is important. Now, it's got to be clear or semi-clear tubs at least, but my point being that if you notice that all your snakes are in the front of their tubs, that tells you that there might be a heating problem. It might be too hot in the back, and you got to do something about that. So all of my tubs are at least semi-clear where I can see them at the front of their tub. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the snakes that I can see in their enclosures, you know, in the PVC or glass enclosures, and then I'm looking at just the front of the tubs to see if there's any unusual activity while I'm gone. I can look at all that with the camera. I can move the camera around, zoom in, do whatever I want. And also through this camera, I can watch Echo not pushing because I'm not in the room. She pushes a lot when I am in the room, but she doesn't push when I'm looking at her through the camera and I'm not there. So she's doing it for my benefit. Annoying. There are several companies that offer products like these. So far, everything that I've shown you is something that I purchased myself. I've used Switchbot products almost exclusively for the last couple of years. But when we talked about having them sponsor a video, they sent me a bunch more things. So I got more cameras and things like that. But I also got stuff like lights that I could install that I can turn on and off with my phone, and they can change to every color under the sun. There's anybody who's looking closely at these videos may see that occasionally, if I remember to turn it on, I have an LED colored light that's on behind the enclosure that gives a little bit of ambiance to the wall and the sign as the light changes. But I can set that to anything I want. What else do they send me? Oh, this little button thing. This is cool. This is a programmable button. Watch this. Here's my heater. Here's my heater. This is the Switchbot bot. I click this button, and it turns this on. So this little button is not something that I had before. This is cool though because it just makes it so I don't have to open my phone to run something. So I can program it to run any Switchbot item I want. And if I'm just sitting in the house, or maybe I'm in my bedroom and I want to run something in the snake room, I just hit the button. It's pretty cool. Many of my thermometer hygrometers that are in enclosures are Switchbot, and I like these better, and here's why. First of all, I've never had a Switchbot just die on me. I've had a couple from another brand that just died, and when I replace the battery, it'll run for about 24 hours and then die again. So I've had to just throw those away. But the other really cool thing about this is some of you that have bought a few different thermometer hygrometers may have purchased some Wi-Fi thermometer hygrometers so that you can check it from anywhere. You know, you set it up on Wi-Fi and check it from your phone. Those are way more expensive though than just a Bluetooth one. This is a Bluetooth one, and it runs through the Switchbot hub, and the Switchbot hub is Wi-Fi. So what that does is it turns every single one of these cheaper Bluetooth thermometer hygrometers into a Wi-Fi one because I can check it remotely through the hub. They all connect to the hub within the house, and then I check everything through the hub. So I don't have to pay the extra money for Wi-Fi things. Look at that. The fan. Do you hear that noise? The fan just kicked on because it is 52% humidity, and apparently that's what I set it for a long time ago to kick on. So now, watch this. Let me show this real-time thing. I don't want that fan on because it's noise in the video, right? So all I do, here's my Switchbot app. Here's my off button. Bavarian backlight. You guys can see that. It's sort of green behind the Bavarian one. Let's just turn that off. Or actually, let's turn it back on and make it a different color. Let's do that. Let's make it sort of reddish. And it'll just change through red and orange sunset colors. So it's really important if you're going out of town that you're able to monitor your room and control anything that you need to be able to control if you don't have somebody else there to do it. It takes a big weight off your shoulders when you're gone. Again, there are a number of companies that provide products like this. I've used Switchbot for a long time, and that can be evidenced by the video from over a year ago where I talk about their products, and I probably say something like, this video isn't sponsored, I just like their products. Well, now the video is sponsored, so I guess things have changed. That castle build was so fun to do, and I'm going to try to keep that thing as long as I can. Hopefully the snakes don't destroy it too soon. But putting a camera in the bottom box was the thing to do because I wanted to go inside and make more coffee. So I just pulled up the camera image on my phone and watched it, and if I saw the snake leaving the box, I would just go back outside and see what was going on. But as it turned out, I just came in and made coffee, and the snake was wandering around inside that box the whole time. Thanks again to Switchbot for sponsoring this video. In the description below is the link to 10% off their products. Do you want to see other enrichment ideas? Check out this video that just popped up. Thanks for watching. See you next week.